We're looking at this list here. We wanted to start with the National Pillow Fluffing Initiative. I mean, don't you want your pillow to be fluffy? Not when you're spending over $1 million of taxpayer money. We're cutting that. Also, the Bureau of Elevator Music Standards. Explain yourself. Forgive me for trying to set the vibe, bro. $800,000 a year. The National Velcro Noise Study. What's the problem here? You don't have to spend $1 million a year to know that Velcro noise is annoying. Now, the Program of Ice Cube Uniformity and the American Cloud Watching Fund. Okay, that one's a problem, but I'm kind of OCD and I like it when my ice cubes are all the same size and shape, you know? Yeah, we all do, but that doesn't mean you spend $1 million. Now, the Federal Kazoo Orchestra Grant? It's amazing what they could do with those things, honestly. The Federal Bureau of Traffic Cone Counting? $256,343. You're welcome. Now, that's what I call $800,000 well spent.
I am all in on the DOGE team. The things they are uncovering are truly astounding, although not surprising to many people on the right who have been speculating about the mass amounts of government waste that have been going on for decades, okay? But now here it is being unmasked for everyone to see if, of course, they're paying attention. However, we're seeing something very strange happening, right? A lot of Democrats, a lot of talking heads, a lot of people on the left are really upset that this is being uncovered. Now, why in the world could that possibly be? Oh, because it's your own personal slush fund, okay? So we all know what's happening and you can't hide it anymore. And somebody else who's jumping on board with this, of course, is Joe Rogan, okay? But before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
What's fascinating right now is we're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government in the White House. We're seeing right now with this whole USAID thing where they're uncovering massive amounts of corruption and waste and just a lot of weird shady shit with NGOs and where an enormous amount of money is going. And you're seeing someone look at this thing that is incredibly efficient almost by design. And instead of saying, like, well, this is just how it is, and this is how these politicians get funded, so let's just keep this thing going the same way it is and make some incremental changes to try to make people happy so we still get elected. Instead of that, you're seeing a politician, a president, who's coming in who can't get reelected, so he's just going ham. And he's just cleaning out everything. And people are freaking out. The same people that say we need radical change. We need radical change. We've got corruption. We need radical change. Okay, well, here's your radical change. We don't need this. But you do. The government does. They need oversight. And they haven't had that. And because of that, you're seeing this, not just waste. You could call it waste, but it's deeper. It's deeper than waste. It's corruption. And you're seeing that corruption get weeded out. I am hoping that this is successful and that it yields a benefit to the American people, to the working class people, to everybody, where they recognize, like, hey, we can't just be spending all our fucking tax money on nonsense. And it all should be done with a real clear understanding of getting results. If that happens and that idea spreads across the country, because ideas spread and people change their minds. And, you know, and sometimes it happens. One guy in the neighborhood will go, you know what, fuck this, I'm fed up. And then everybody like, yeah, I've been kind of thinking that too. I just didn't want to say it. And then people start talking, and then it's not a scary thing to discuss anymore.
Yes, we are spot on. Remember, when Donald Trump ran back in 2016, a lot of people were saying, it would be great to have a businessman come in and run the government like a business, because honestly, the way government functions right now is not any way that you or I could live, right? We couldn't run our personal lives. We couldn't run our businesses. There's no way we could get by with having these huge, massive debts, just building and building and building and expect for everything to be okay in the end. And yet government feels they can constantly do that, right? And of course, I love how Joe Rogan says, yeah, all the people out there wanting radical change, the people saying that government is broken and it doesn't work for the people anymore, right? What are they doing right now? They're out there chanting, keep the status quo, keep everything the exact way it is, right? We're not out there looking for actual results, right? Instead, we're just going to waste our money on all types of weird projects. It really brings to mind that term, the transfer of wealth, all right? They're taking all of our money and giving it to what? Other countries, their own pockets. So it's not necessarily going from rich people to poor people. It's going from you, from your wallet, to who knows where, most likely in the pockets of Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, okay? So of course, it doesn't just stop here though.
And I don't think I really grasped it until Elon's 6 wizards. They brought in some young wizards to go in there and go over the books, and they are just finding crazy shit. It's great, and it's so interesting. I was listening to a left-wing podcast today. I like to mix it up. You know, I listen to all kinds of different stuff, and it was like I was listening to a different world. Like, they weren't even talking about all of this corruption and all this obvious buying of influence. Instead, they were talking about aid overseas and how people are going to starve. And like,
it's mind-boggling, and there's also, I have to say, I'm upset at the general pattern of a failure to recognize how right those of us who hypothesized that there was a racket that had overtaken our entire governance structure, we turn out to be absolutely right about this, and no one's going to mention it. That's mind-blowing.
It's very strange that the media is ignoring it, especially the left-wing media. It's just too big of a win for the right, and so they're just ignoring it. And then they're just highlighting the good things that USAID did, which I'm sure it probably did. Probably had to do some good things to, like, at least justify its existence
as a cover story.
Absolutely. We're living in two completely different worlds. I do a lot of left-wing research, right? So I watch a lot of the left-wing media. And yeah, they don't look at this as a positive whatsoever. They're trying to do whataboutism. They're trying to spin the story. They're trying to get you to believe that there wasn't massive fraud and waste going on at the USAID agencies. Now, of course, I understand that our government has to really have some type of way to leverage foreign governments, and giving out money is a good way to do that. However, funding all of these weird projects and funding, bioscience labs and things like that is not the way to do it. And I'm sure that Donald Trump and Elon Musk can figure out some way to entice other countries to actually do the things that are good for America without funding, I don't know, drag shows in Guatemala or something like that. But of course, if this was all done responsibly, then it wouldn't be a product of the left. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.